In this video, we're going to show how to start your engineering drawing. The project we're going to build is the bookend. It's an easy project that gives you the opportunity to draw multiple parts, show some special features, and to have a little bit of creativity with some of the aspects of the project. For this project will have 3 parts: the base, a bracket, and a front. The project is these bookends. The idea is that if you have some books, you can put a bookend on either end of several books, and they won't fall over. So it's a semi-useful project that you could take home. To start with, we need to draw the individual parts. So the first part we're going to make is the base. The base is going to be a rectangle that has 7 holes drilled through it, so we can assemble it to the other components. So we'll show how to get that started. On your drawing, on your sheet, you should have your title strip and border already drawn. At the bottom, you want to give yourself some space between the title strip and where you start your drawing. You want to be about 1.5 inches, and you can see I have about 1.5 inches from my T-square to my title strip. And you should start by just drawing a light line. This very light line is a construction line. That line is going to be where I use as a reference to draw the views of my drawing. Also, we're going to start on the left side of our sheet. You see what I've done already. I have a front view, a top view of the part, the top edge, and the end or right view of the part. So the top, the right, and the front views are the 3 most important views that we're going to show for this part. On the side, I want to come over about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and I'm going to draw a vertical line, and that's going to establish where I start my drawing from. We will be using the half scale. So on the green side of the architect scale, find the side that says half, and we'll start measuring there. Each of these spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are all 1/2 inch size spaces, and they have an incremented section so we can see the 1/2 inch, the 1/4 inch, and so on. This part happens to be 8 inches long, so we're going to put the 8 on this vertical starting line at the intersection of the 2, and I can mark my 0, or you can measure the opposite direction, put the 0 on the starting line and measure to the 8. Where I measured, I put a mark. I'm going to put my triangle on that mark, and I'm going to draw a vertical line. That vertical construction line establishes 8 inches. I have 8 inches at the bottom, in the middle, at the top, because they're parallel to each other. And just to check, you can measure. At the bottom we had 8 inches, in the middle we should have 8 inches, and at the top we should have 8 inches. You'll see why that's important in a little bit. This part is 6 inches tall, so I'm going to put my 0 on the horizontal line that we drew originally. I'm going to measure up 6 inches. Put my mark at 6 inches. I'm going to draw a construction line through that, and I'm going to stop short of going all the way to the border here. You notice that I did that on these other locations where I started and stopped my lines. I did not draw all the way to the border because I don't want my drawing to go over my border. It will have to stop before that border. So I have the general shape, a 6 by 8 inch rectangle drawn on my sheet at half scale. The end view and the top views are pretty simple. We can start those pretty much wherever we want. So I'm going to come about 1.5 inches away from my border on this right side of my sheet and draw a construction line. Now the intersection at that corner with the original horizontal line that I drew, I'm going to mark 1 inch. These parts are 1 inch thick. And I'm going to draw a construction line vertically through that. This would represent the end of the block of wood that creates my bookend. At the top of my sheet, I'm going to do the same. Draw my construction line. I would need to measure. One inch. And I have my top edge view of my part. Now that I have all these construction lines drawn and my 3 views for the most part drawn, I can go back and darken in the visible lines or object lines of this part. So I'm going to trace over my construction lines. I'll do my horizontal lines first, starting at the top and working my way down so that I don't smudge all the pencil that will be on my sheet. Notice how the right side view and the top edge of the front view, they line up. They're in the same plane. The same thing at the bottom. The bottom edges are in the same plane. And then using my triangle, I'm going to work from right to left, darkening in the construction lines from point to point, showing and representing the edges and corners of this block. And these are the 3 views: the top edge, the front face, and the right end view of my bookend base. And you can see in the sketch, it's this rectangular base piece. It's 8 inches long and 6 inches wide and 1 inch thick.